If I could go back in time and talk to my 18-year-old self before starting high ticket sales, I'd tell him a few things that would have saved him a lot of pain. And here's the truth: the online business world will test you more than anything else you've ever done in your life. It'll make you question yourself, your path, society, whether you're even built for this. But if you can push through, if you can stand the test of time, there is a positive light on the other end. And the reason I know this is true is I went from 0 to 40K a month in my first year of online business at the age of 19, and I'm still in this industry to this day. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what I told my 18-year-old version of me. So if you're watching this and you're at a similar point in your life, you're young, you're hungry, you just want to make it, listen up, because this advice is something that I learned the hard way. Now, the first thing I tell myself is, if it feels heavy, that's how you know you're lifting something that'll make you stronger. When I started out, I thought making money online would be this straight upward climb where you just work hard, get results, and it just keeps compounding. That's not exactly how it works. And high ticket sales, and honestly any business, it's brutal in the beginning. You're gonna face rejection, you're gonna face silence, you're gonna face self doubt, and you'll wonder if you've even made a mistake by choosing this path. And for context, there were nights where I stared at my screen, I'd stare, up at my ceiling while I was on the bed, thinking, am I doing anything right? I'm putting in all this work, I'm putting in all this hard work, but why does it still feel like I'm losing? I'm not getting anywhere, I'm not making any progress. But looking back, those memories and those moments were crucial because it built my resilience. And a great way to explain this to my younger self is, it's like going to the gym for the first time, right? And in the first few weeks, your body hurts. It's absolutely torture, right? When you walk, it hurts. When you sleep, it hurts. When you eat, it hurts. Like everything literally hurts. And what's worse than that is you go into the gym and it hurts and you're not seeing any progress because it's only been a couple weeks in the gym. But what you don't realize is the pain isn't punishment. It's proof that you're actually growing. The same is true in high ticket sales. The struggle is the signal that you're on the right path. So don't try and skip the hard part, man. That pain is where your foundation is actually being built. Sweet. And once you face that, you'll face another test, and that's learning to embrace the problems that actually come your way. The problem that you're probably running from is the skill set that you actually need to master that you're never gonna do. And every big jump I've had in income, 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month, 40K a month, and above, every new level I hit came right after I solved something painful. And most beginners panic when things break, like you watching this right now, when leads dry up, when rejections pile up, when numbers drop. But my advice, because I've been there myself, is you just need to zoom out and look at the bigger picture and realize that this is how the life works. This is how universe works. Basically, when you're going down a very hard path and you want something like financial freedom, money, travel, time freedom, things that only top, 5 to 10% of people have in the world, you're not going to get it handed to you. And the universe or God basically throws you tests along the journey that tells him, hey, does Kashi actually deserve 10K a month? Does Kashi actually deserve 40K a month? Does Kashi actually deserve to retire his family? And all these tests are there for you to conquer them. It's on the other side of them. So just embrace these problems, embrace the things that come your way, and just think of it as a sign from the universe. And I know this is true because this has happened like multiple times in my life at all income levels, but I'll share a story with you that was, I would say, probably one of the biggest tests in my life. I was basically cruising at 10K a month. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt very comfortable. I felt very good about myself. I've already made it. I've hit 10K a month. I'm traveling the world. I was traveling around Asia. I was even sending a little bit of money to my parents, nothing crazy, but I was very comfortable. And the universe, or God, basically looked down at me and said, dude, this guy is not acting like he deserves 10K a month. This guy is not acting like he wants to level up. And honestly, I was very comfortable. I didn't do a lot of the inputs I was doing when I first started in this space. So what did the universe do? It basically threw me a big test. My offer, the one I was on, it actually shut down in terms of ads, and it completely tanked. And I went from 10K a month to literally $0 in a matter of 2 weeks, right? And I had to go and find something different. And that's when reality hit me that, damn, I need to deserve these things. I never need to put my foot off the pedal. And there's either two things I could have done at that point. And you watching this right now, there's two versions of people that will handle that. When everything goes to shit, when everything's at $0, one pathway is just to give up and just go back to university, go back to your normal life, go back to where you were before. That's one pathway. The second pathway is just to embrace it as a test, pass the test, conquer this problem, and then you'll go even further in life. And guess which path I chose? Obviously, I'm here now. So I chose that second path where I realized it is what it is. This is just a sign from the universe. Let me work even harder to show everyone that I deserve this. And you know what's crazy? I went from zero, because I went from 10 to 0, to 40K a month within a month and a half. And that's what was required for me to level up. So to my younger version, 18-year-old Kashi, and any of you watching, if you're facing a lot of problems right now, if you're getting things thrown at you left, right, center, just think of them all as tests and things that you need to overcome. That way, you can reap the rewards. Sweet. But even when you're solving problems, you're tackling issues, there's another dark phase you'll go through, and I've gone through this myself, and that's loneliness. And it's not talked about in the high-ticket sales space, especially as a guy in online business. People don't talk about these things. Because what I realized is the road to 10K a month, it's completely silent. Most people quit before they even start, before they even put their mind to it. That's 99% of people. They quit before they even make their first dollar online. So when you start taking this path seriously, you're going to outgrow people. Friends won't get it. Family might doubt you. You'll feel like you're doing something wrong when in reality, you're just doing something different. So for context, I have gone through multiple friendships on my journey from 0 to 10K a month. But when I started in this online money making space, I started with 3 other friends. And we all decided to, like young 18, 17-year-olds, we're going to make money online. We're going to get rich. We're going to buy Lambos. That was our mindset back then. And sadly, or fortunately, me and one other friend were the only people that actually pushed through and committed to the online business space. The other 2 friends pretty much quit and gave up. And pretty much from then on, I was alone, right? And anyone that tried to start a business with me or I try and start a side hustle with, eventually I would just outgrow them. I would make more money than them, and I'd stay more consistent, and they'd end up quitting. So every single time I was going through this journey, what I realized was it's something that I actually have to go through alone at the end of the day. And a good analogy to explain this is it's like hiking a mountain, right? Imagine if you're going on a hike with like 100 people. At the start, at the bottom of the mountain, it's crowded. You know, everyone's excited, everyone's taking like selfies of the mountain, everyone's full of energy. But as you climb higher and higher and higher, the air gets thinner, oxygen gets reduced, the path gets steeper, people start turning back. And by the time you reach the top, you look to your left, you look to your right, and you realize that, damn, there's no one up here at the top. And that's what I realized. It's like you're climbing a mountain. It's supposed to be lonely. So the main takeaway that I learned here is if you're in that silent, lonely chapter right now you're watching this video and you're like, damn, man, I have no friends, or damn, everyone hates me, or damn, my family's against me. Don't mistake that for failure. It's just the part most people aren't willing to go through, and success is just on the other side of that. So push through. And if I could just tell my younger self one more thing, it's this. Everything will work out if you don't stop moving. I know you won't see the path. Right now, you probably can't see the light. You can't see yourself making it. But looking back, every step that you made will start making sense. And when you're in the grind, when you're in the trenches, it's very hard to connect the dots as what you're doing is even working. And you can't see how the pain, the mistakes, the suffering, the lonely nights are actually shaping you to be the best possible version of yourself. Like these things you're going through right now are the reason you'll be successful. And one day, like where you are right now, like where I am, you'll look back and realize that, oh, it was all part of the universe's plan. It was all part of the journey, and this was meant to happen, right? And I say this because if I go look back at my journey now, I look at my cold calling days where I'd just get absolutely knackered by the end of the day doing 12 hours of cold calling. I'd go back to my door-to-door sales ways where I was knocking on people's doors for 12 hours a day, making minimum wage. I'd go to the points where, my offer shut down, for example, and I went from 10K a month to 0. Points where I hit 40K a month. Points where my close rate was low. All these sufferings. Points where I had to tackle my parents. Points where my friends turned on me. All these things that I went through, they weren't setbacks, right? They were actually just little road bumps and speed bumps along the way that I had to go through. And it all built the version of me that could finally handle success, right? And a good analogy to explain this is, it's like driving through fog. Imagine you're driving and it's nighttime and there's a lot of fog in front of you. You can only see like a few meters ahead. But if you keep driving, you keep driving, you keep driving, eventually the fog will clear, right? And you'll realize that, oh, damn, there was actually nothing on the road and you were on the right path. That's exactly what online business is. There's just a bunch of fog around you, a bunch of smoke around you. And you just need to just cut through the smoke and keep going and give it time, and eventually you'll get out of it, right? I've gone through this multiple times in my life, and every time that I leveled up in terms of my income, it's always been something to do with fog clearing up or problems in my life. So yeah, main takeaway here is don't look for clarity before you take action. Clarity comes from taking action and keep going, and the path will reveal itself. So yeah, and honestly, I think about this all the time as to what if I didn't make that leap of faith? What if I didn't push through? What if this happened? What if that happened? I wouldn't be where I am today. And I think about this a lot. And I thank my 18-year-old self for actually pushing through. And if you're watching this and you're in a similar position, trust me, just push through. And if I could talk to my 18-year-old self, I tell him this. It's going to be harder than you think. You're going to question yourself more times than you can count. You'll lose people, you'll fail deals, you'll feel like you're stuck. But if you stay long enough in the game, if you just stick it through, bro, you'll win. Because the only difference between the ones who make it and the ones who don't is that the ones who did kept going. And you don't need to be special, you don't need to be smart, you just need to be consistent. And if you can accept the pain, embrace the problems, and keep your head down long enough to put in the work, everything you dreamed about, everything you told your mom, everything that you told your family, everything that you told your friends, everything that you dream about at night will eventually become your reality, because it'll always work out for the ones who never stop. So yeah, that's what I'd say to my younger self. I hope you guys found some value and some wisdom, maybe, if you're in a similar position to where I was 2-3 years ago. And if you resonated with this and you want to let me know your thoughts as well, feel free to message me on Instagram. I always love hearing stories about where you guys are in life and where you want to go. I'll drop my Instagram in the description. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.